everybody, welcome back. This is a very exciting video today. One, it's because this is the very first photo shoot in my new studio, at least the first official one. If you watched my last video, you saw that I actually did a bunch of lay flat images for a client in this studio, kind of while I was still painting it. So I guess that was the real first photo shoot, but this is the first fun, creative one that I'll be doing here in the studio. And it's also going to be exciting because it's my birthday photo. And I've been doing self-portraits ever since I turned 16, although the year 16 self-portrait was not a very good one, so I never include it in the recaps because it's not very good. And January is my birthday month, so I need to make a portrait for this year. And I figured we might as well do one in the new studio to kind of commemorate it, and also it really reminds me of myself as a high schooler too, because that's where I got my start in photography, was doing the 365 project every day in high school, and it feels very much like I'm going back to that childhood Lauren of making images in her bedroom. So it's kind of a very fun time for me to have this new space. It's bringing up a lot of very nice childhood memories and dreams that I've had. So I'm very excited for this photo today, and well, I've had enough. Let's get to photographing. So I think the portrait itself is actually going to be a pretty simple setup. Where you are is where I'm going to put my projector, and I've basically got together some footage that I'm basically going to project onto myself. Pretty straightforward. And the fun thing about this will come into play when I'm actually printing it out in the darkroom. That's right, folks. It's going to be a film photo this year. I'm excited. Get excited. It's true. I actually had this idea 2 years ago? No, yeah. It would be 3 years ago now that I had this idea to do this particular self-portrait, but I didn't quite really have the time to get into it, and plus when I was photographing, it made a lot more sense with the concept to just do it digitally as well. I'm very excited to do it this year, especially because I really want to get back into doing darkroom photography regularly. So this is kind of the big foray back into it. But we've got my new beautiful backdrop wall right here, and it's just gonna be like pretty much this angle. So I don't even really need to do anything with the floor or anything like that. So yeah, I think the main thing I need to figure out is how to balance all of the lighting. So I've got these two big windows right here that I think I'm going to cover up, and then we'll have the projector light, and then I'm going to have another light, I think, either shining on me or illuminating from me. It just kind of depends. And I'm still trying to decide if I would like to do a digital test of this image just in case, but I don't know. That seems less fun, right? So maybe I won't do it. By the way, I am photographing on my Minolta 35mm camera, and I've got Kodak Tri-X 400 in here as well, some beautiful black and white film. Alrighty folks, I think I'm going to stop it there for now. I've made 30 images or so, 28. I'm going to save the last few for the next part of this image, which I realize I'm only saving like 6, maybe 7 photos. But I have a few different ideas of how I want to actually create this next part of the image, which may not even involve film. So I'm not necessarily wanting to, quote unquote, waste an entire roll of film on this next part. But the self-portrait aspect of this I think is all done. We'll see how those photos turned out. I ended up just using a flashlight and then the projector light itself. So I think that should be good. We'll see. We'll cross our fingers when we get into the darkroom and see if it worked out or not, but I think it'll turn out pretty good. I went into the darkroom to prepare the print. I wasn't going to do it that evening, but I wanted to get a head start and map out where all of the pieces for the final piece were going to be, so that when I went into the darkroom the next day, because I needed to buy more paper developer from the store, so I was waiting for paper developer to come in. The next day it comes around and I turn on my enlarger, it gives off a big huge spark and my light bulb burns out, which is pretty classic. That was a pretty good indication that I needed to stop. I had some other hurdles with this image before, but that one, you can't really fix that one. So I'm waiting on new light bulbs to come in now, but instead I have decided to, I had a lot of different ideas for an alternate photo that I could do, but ultimately I decided to stick with the initial self-portrait that I made and the other component pieces. Instead I scanned in all of the film and then I went out and got it printed at the local library. Thank you, library. Thank you, my tax dollars at work, letting me print out these things for free. And I did a different experiment that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is basically weaving an image together. I had done things similar to this in college with experimenting beyond what an image is supposed to be naturally. And so I weaved everything in. I'm still doing my words on my glass to hopefully get some sort of a reflection of the word. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the studio. It's my birthday this morning. This is the latest I think I've ever been for a birthday portrait. Usually I'm pretty much done with it at least the night before. But we're all done with the main part. It's just me photographing the finished piece. I will also maybe roll some past birthday photos so you can see what we're working with. I am very pleased with how it turned out. I really wanted to do some sort of experiment anyways. This was the one that excited me the most, so hence we did it. So thank you all so much for watching. It was a pleasure as always to get to chat with you. We'll see what the next video will be. I'm not quite sure. I think the next video will probably have to be something very fun in the studio. So I've got some ideas. Until then, I'll see you next time.